Hi everybody, it's Joni Young here. Welcome back to my channel for another painting tutorial in acrylics. Today I'm going to show you how to paint a pretty landscape with some trees and a path in the middle here, maybe some waterfalls or just a nice source of light glowing in the center. I'm working on a 16 by 20 double primed and stretched canvas today, and I have the following colors: cobalt blue, bright aqua green, Mars black, neutral gray, and titanium white. I'm going to start the painting by adding some water to the canvas, and then we're going to gradiate from black to gray and to white in the center. Then we're going to come in with our colors. Just adding a little bit of water to the canvas can really help you blend your acrylics. It also keeps your palette stay wet longer. Okay, so I'm going to start with black, and I'm going to add the black on either side. Add a little bit more water when you need to. Okay, I'm going to start coming in with some gray now. I haven't washed my brush out, and I'm going to apply the gray partially over the black. I'm going to pick up some more gray, do the same thing on the left side. I haven't rinsed my brush out, and I'm going to go into my white now, and I'm going to apply some white partially over where I left off with the gray. Just adding a little bit more water. And then coming in with some white. And then I'm going to leave it just white, straight white in the center. And what I'm going to do is take my brush and lightly pull towards the center. We're going to create sort of like a triangle shape here, so I'm going to go in narrower and narrower and then wider here, so you kind of get this triangle shape. I'm going to gently pull up like this. By doing this, I'm creating some more lines here. Light or dark, doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush out. Take my number 10 round brush now, a little bit of water, and I'm going to start to pull in some trees. I'm going to take a bit of blue, mix it in with some black. And just go from the bottom here. Now if your canvas is still wet, if that gray and black and white is still wet, like mine is, then you'll get a few more different shades and tones. So you're pulling into those other colors. And it's kind of nice when that happens. But if it's dry, that's okay. You'll just get more of a solid color. It'll be a little bit darker. I'm just adding more and more little branches. Okay, I'm going to add another tree here, and then maybe another one back here. So this one's a little bit closer than this one is. I'm going to pull and sweep from the base of the trees with a pointy end out and then pulling gently in. So a gentle little pull and then let off. I'm going to take a little bit more blue and black. As this painting starts to dry, we're able to come in and add some darker looking branches here. I'm going to gently pull, roll, and twist out. There's a little bit more black here, so that shows up a little bit better. I'm going to rinse my brush out. And I'm going to switch over to a large stipple brush, and I'm going to take some blue. There's a tiny bit of black here from when I was mixing it up. No water on my brush, just paint only. And I'm going to start applying gentle taps for some leaves on these trees. This one here, right here, is on this tree that's closer to us, so I'm making it a little bit darker so it shows up against the one in the back. Now I'm going to tap a little bit at the base here. just going to loosen up some of this paint now. Tap again, and then a light little sweep. Tap, and a little sweep. Okay, the next color I'm going to take is our bright aqua green, and I'm going to start with the trees in the background first, and we're just going to lightly tap over part of the blue. Add a few taps down at the base. Again, over part of the blue. A little pull and sweep. Now I'm being generous with the amount of green that I'm applying. You can use a little bit less or even a little bit more if you like. It's going to end up drying a little bit darker because we're adding it to a darker base, as you can see. Okay, I'm going to rinse this brush out now. Now I'm going to take a dry and clean mop brush. This one's a little bit softer, though you can use a stiffer bristle brush if you like. I just want to create a little bit of softness to the final coat, and that's going to be a little bit of white here. So I'm just pushing and tapping gently in to the white to load it, and I'm going to just start by going over part of the green. As I'm doing this, I'm picking up a little bit of color each time that's wet underneath. You can see every time I go to reload my brush, it's tinting the white, so we're creating some lighter, softer tones. I'm going to add some on top of these little bushes down here as well. And then I'm going to push and tap a little bit back here and just kind of go around in circles. I'm going to go over the trees that I started with just by adding these little circles. It's going to blend the paint around a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of water to my brush. I like using the finest misting setting on the spray bottle because it helps me control the amount of water I'm adding to my brush. So I'm going to just lightly go across. I need just a little bit more. We're going to go both ways, down and across. And then with what's left in the brush, which isn't very much, we're just going to go around in little circles. I'm going to come in with a little bit more white. And then I'm going to lightly sweep. After you apply it, just gently pull. Then go around in little circles again, creating a fine, thin layer of this powdery tinted white. I'm going to apply a little bit more of my cobalt blue. I'm going to take a long rigger brush, number 2 rigger brush, get it wet, and I'm going to add some blue and some black, and I'm going to come down here and add another tree. Just going to lightly pull and twist the brush around to create some tree roots. So I'm just adding another little tree trunk in here. And then one that just goes right off the canvas. I want to mention how often I'm going back. Just about every time I load my brush, I'm going back for more water. And what that does is really help you execute these long, wiggly, twisty looking branches. I'm going to use a number 14 filbert brush, and I'm going to tap in to my blue, some green, and some black. I'm going to tap and lightly pull out under this tree. I'm going to come under this area here as well, and in here. So it's a little tap and also a little pull. And another one right under here. I have a little one just above the bottom of the canvas. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit under this one as well. And then with a little bit of water, just thin the paint out slightly. What we're going to do, I'll start here first. We're just going to start to pull and we're going to turn this into more of a fantasy. Well, it was already kind of looking like a fantasy painting, but we're going to make it even more by pulling out some earth below, so it looks kind of like they're floating. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush out. And I'm going to apply some more cobalt blue, oops, into my turquoise or aqua green. It's just the one, bright aqua green. Okay, so I've got a little dry and clean mop brush again, and I'm going to take a little bit of blue, and I'm going to start by just tapping over part of that black that we first laid down. And I'm going to apply the rest of the blue over top of these little branches here. Then I'm going to take the green, a little bit of green, and I think we'll start here first. And we're going to add a little bit over top, just the same as we did all the other trees. I really like the blue and the green together in this. They're very soothing colors together. I'm just going to gently pull and sweep down a little bit. And I'm going to take a little bit of white without washing my brush off. I'm going to lightly pull down. And a few little circles, just adding a little bit of this turquoise on my brush. Okay, with number 10 filbert brush, or you could use any size you want, doesn't really matter. I'm going to add a few little vines and little branches hanging. So I'm just going to go like this and just choose an area and just drop little loops. And then they tend to look a little bit more realistic when you do them a little bit quicker. And what I like about this type of painting is that it's kind of looking like they could be floating worlds, or it could just be reflections in a little lake or pond area. And just coming in here and adding a few little branches and some more vines. I'm just going to thin my black out and add some of the green and the blue to it. So it's more like a bluey, greeny, grayish kind of a color. And I'm going to add a few lighter branches here and then drop down some vines. You could definitely use a small round brush or a liner brush for this step here. I do really like using filbert brushes a lot. I think they're my favorite brush to use because I can do so much with them. They're really versatile. So I've just cleaned my brush off and I'm going to take straight white and I'm going to pull it in the center. And maybe we can sneak in a few waterfalls here. And then I'm just going to go around lightly and soften, blending out a little bit of white. And they tend to show up a little bit better on a darker underpainting. Okay, so maybe we'll have some coming in from this side, and then some from here. Okay, I'm going to mix in a little bit of white with the turquoise. And just add a little bit of light in here. Just little hints of highlights, making things glow a little bit more. And you can also take a little bit more of the turquoise and then just tap a little bit of vines hanging down here. Add a little bit of color to some that are already existing. Bring a little bit of blue in there. I'm just going to use my round brush, a number 3 round brush. I'm going to take the rest of this blue and just filter over a little bit of the green. So I'm just going over part of the green that's dry. And you create a lot of depth this way. Just thinning it out with a little bit of water. And then say we'll pick this spot here, and I'll just gently brush over. Now you can add this to any area you like. Where you've got some green, or even apply it over the gray and the black or the white. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was really relaxing to paint and a soothing color combination. I'll have a full list of the colors, brushes, and canvas I'm using below this video in the description box. Thanks for watching, have fun painting yours, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!